Hello and welcome to b0bst3r's Forestry version 2 tutorials. I'm currently using a Mindcrack Feed the Beast mod pack, but I've adjusted this mod pack with the latest version of Forestry at this particular time. So this is version 2.0.0.10, which is roughly about 7 or 8 versions ahead of the Forestry in the current FTB packs at the time of recording this. The texture pack I'm using is Thax. I've put together myself. I don't have the Computercraft textures installed because of the problem I've got with the monitor, so I'm glitching out. And the first episode, this one, is the introduction to the Forestry 2 farms. So let's get on with it. First of all, I just want to show you what we're using for power, how we're getting the water, and that type of thing, just so you've got an idea. Our water is quite straightforward. We have a thermal expansion aqueous accumulator with 4 water source blocks on top, sides and back, going straight into a thermal expansion liquid tesseract that we call water. So that's simple enough. As for our power, we've got a railcraft tank, largest size, absolutely filled with lava. That is coming in from the nether. As you can see, we've just got our friend join us. The liquid tesseract which is pulling in the lava from the nether is called abbreviated liquid tank, and that brings the lava in. And if we do a quick run where we have a bullcraft pump pumping out lava straight into the liquid tesseract, which is set to liquid tank. And for this, I'm actually using a magmatic engine to power the bullcraft pump. Normally, you just stick stick an energy tesseract next to the pump, but I needed some lava to start the whole process going, and an anchor. So that's our power supply. Right, and as far as power is concerned, simply down here we're pulling the lava out the tank into 3 magmatic engines, which will give a maximum of 4 Minecraft joules per tick. At the moment we're sat at 0.4, which is just the energy loss. Straight into a redstone energy cell, which is set to output at 20 Minecraft joules per tick, into a energy tesseract called power. So that's our basic power and water system that we're going to be using. So let's get on with it. The Forestry version 2, round about 2.0.0.8, removes the old farms. You can keep them enabled by a config, but one thing you should note is that, let's find them, the old farms will actually uncraft into these blocks faster than that. Yeah. So if we look at the recipe for the logger, you'll see there isn't one because it's been removed. But it does have an uncrafting recipe, so you put the logger in with the brick choice and it will give you a nice 30 of these farm blocks, and that goes for every old farm machine and for every different type of block that you can actually make up. So don't throw away your old farm stuff just yet, because they will convert down. So there are basically 8 different types of brick that you can make the farm block from. There's standard stone, mossy stone, cracked stone, normal bricks, smooth sandstone, chiseled sandstone, nether brick, and the chiseled stone, which is the 4 block. Now when you're making your farm blocks, there are, well, let's just have a quick look at the crafting recipe. So the block of your choice at the top, 2 copper ingots, 1 each side, 2 slabs, 1 each side, and then tin electron tubes will give you 1 block. So all you need to do, it's the same recipe for all of them, you just change that particular brick at the top into whatever brick you want to make this out of. Okay, so that's a crafting recipe for that. The tin electron tube is in the thermionic fabricator, and it's just 5 tin in an upside down T shape with a couple of redstone each side, and don't forget the glass at the top, and you'll need to power that, and that gives you your tin electron tubes. So let's talk about the farm block itself. The smallest block is 3 by 3, and all these farm blocks are 4 high. So if I just go ahead and make this first one, and when you complete the farm block in one of the available sizes, you'll notice a black band appear, usually the second one down, and there it is. So that is now your multi-block farm. That's the smallest size, 3 by 3 and 4 high. And if we right click it, you'll see the farm GUI. Now, it won't actually work like that because you need a gearbox, which is basically the farm power. You'll need a hatch, which is the input and output, and you need a valve. Now these gearbox, hatch and valve blocks can actually go anywhere on this farm block apart from where that band is. So what I can actually do is take the whole of the top off and put down, you wouldn't do this, but I'm just showing you as an example, a full row of valves, and then just wait a couple of minutes and there you have it. And you can actually do that for all of it. You can make it out. You wouldn't do this, but I'm just giving you the sort of rundown on where you can put these blocks. So we can take a hatch, for instance, and create a row of hatches, and then on the bottom, what do we use at the top? We can create a row of gearboxes, and your farm will turn back into a farm in a second. There you go. So that just goes to show you that you can use these blocks on any of the rows apart from this one. If I were to put one on that row, it wouldn't go and form a farm. So you can't have any input or output on that row where the black band appears when you first make it. So if I right click now, there's no interface there. That has to be a standard farm block on there. And there you can see it's reformed again. Okay, now you wouldn't make it like this. That's just to show you where you can put these gearbox hatches and valves literally anywhere apart from that banded row. Okay, let me just form this back up again, and I'll show you something else as well. Right, so that's our farm. Right, so we've got our farm, and I'm going to just put some dirt in here just to show you about changing these blocks. So let's say if we wanted to, I don't know, let's say we moved to the desert and we wanted to change our farms from this into a smooth sandstone. You don't actually have to completely destroy the farm and lose whatever's in here, or have to take it out, or have to reset it back all up again. If you knocked out, you can knock out basically all of these blocks apart from one on the 3 by 3 by 4, and it is that second block down from the top. That block there contains the inventory, pretty much like a center block of a railcraft tank, of the items which are in it. If I destroyed that, you'll see the dirt that I put in fall out. Okay, so what you can do here is, if you wanted to change all the blocks, all you have to do is simply just pull this back up. Back into a farm again. Let's put that dirt back in, just so we've got a storage there. And if we then, there's no real need to change the middle column, but let's say, I don't know, for decoration purposes, you wanted to change all of it. You can then just simply take another block type and then build it back out the same way. So that block is in the same position. Remember, it's the second one down. Ignore the texture glitches, and that will turn back into a farm, and our dirt will, in a second, still be in there. So that should give you an idea actually that you can, if you wished, pattern these if you really wanted to. There's nothing stopping you from doing that at all. They're all interchangeable with each other. As you can see, you can put different types of valve if you wanted to put different valve blocks in. Not a problem. They're all interchangeable. And yeah, that is pretty much the farm block and the way that you can mess around and change it, and works with all these different block types. Okay, the next thing to discuss is the bases. And they start with the smallest one. This is our 3x3, and what you need to do is you need to put or lay out the base for which the farm produce is going to go on a brick type, which is basically the brick types of what you made the farm blocks from. So you can use any of these, but unless you're going to have the farm up in the air and walk underneath, there's not a lot of point in using expensive brick types like the one I've got in my hand actually, simply because you're not going to see it. You're going to have dirt on the top of this, or humus, or bog earth, so you're not really going to see it. It doesn't really matter, you might as well make it out of stone. So for the 3x3, all you do is come out centre blocks 4 each side. So that's 4, that's 4, that's 4, and then follow it each side of that centre block on each straight part, and then join it together. And that's your smallest. Now they do go up in various sizes. I've not got them all here. This one is the 4x4 farm block in the middle, and this one is the 5x5 block in the middle. There are 2 more different sizes. There's one in between this one and this one, which is a 3x4, and there is also a 3x5, which I guess would kind of work in the middle of that one. So various different degrees of sizes of farms. There is no actual change at all to the farm GUI. You don't get extra storage or anything like that. It simply means that more plants will be planted. So yeah, so let me show you the different ways you can have these set up. Now there is the let's just take that out a second. You can have it so all the farm block is on top of your layout. So you'd have your 4x4 in this particular area like this if you so wanted it. Oh, sorry, 3x3, 4 high. Okay, so you can have it all on the top like that, if you so wished. You can drop it down a level, or you can make the brick level here, at that particular level, and sink it down into the floor so it's down one. You can even have the farm up here at this level, should you so wish. What doesn't work is you can't have one level down here and one level up here and expect them both to grow. That doesn't work. If you've managed to get it work with things like cactus and reeds, you'll probably find that this level is actually just breaking the reeds off as they grow. So that's not actually working, and it doesn't work with multiple levels like the old farms used to. Okay, so you can have your farm produce up here, or down here, or on any level in between. What you can't do is have your farm level on top of. So you couldn't build your farm level up here. That won't work. Okay, so you couldn't build this all the way out here. That doesn't work up there. It has to be attached to it. For aesthetics' sake, I think probably the nicest way to set this up, although it's all up to you how you do it, is to have one level above. Oops, that's an extra block now. So that level there is our second level, and have it one level up. Now, the reason why I said that looks better is because what you haven't got to forget about is you're going to have dirt or something on here, and then you're going to have whatever you're growing on top of it. So you could have it flush to the block floor if you really wanted to, but I think that looks better like that. And then go underneath and build your 2 levels below. Like so. Now we can't see the band growing, so we're just going to have to wait a second. If we keep right clicking, eventually it will show us the GUI and stop putting the block there. There we go. Okay, so that's our farm block put in. Now I think this is obviously, for look wise, I think that's much better having it like that. And you can put your gearbox and your valve and your hatch on top if you want, but again, for looks, I find that putting them underneath works better. The way I've got this set up, I can put my gearbox and my valve in here, and put my hatch on a corner. It works better on the corner. I'll show you why in a minute. And then take our tesseracts, hook up the energy to the gearbox, oops, and set that up, and then put our liquid tesseract against the valve, set up for the water, and we should see now that we've got our water coming in. No need for pipes or anything like that with the tesseracts. You can put them right next to the gearbox and valve. Unfortunately that doesn't work for the, oh actually I don't know whether it does work for the item tesseract. I've not tried that yet. So let's get this farm going. What we're going to need is some fertilizer. Now this fertilizer, I'm sure you've seen it already. It's the apatite which is scattered all over the world, and if you have a new world you will see huge chunks of this, and you basically make it with sand or ashes, or you can make it with saltpeter and sand. So we take our fertilizer, put it in this box. If you want a default tree farm, you don't have to do anything here. You'll see that it already comes up with a managed arboretum, so you don't need to put a chip in there. Simply put dirt in this side and put the saplings of your choice in the other side. I'm going to use birch saplings. The reason I'm going to use birch saplings is because I'm going to show you a neat little trick. Right, and if I get out the hole, you'll immediately see that although we put dirt in there, it's actually laying down humus. So you don't need to put humus in, just put straightforward dirt, let the farm convert it and put that down. And that will draw out the whole farm on this block. Right, while that's doing that, I want to just run over the different sizes and different farms, and that looks horrible. What on earth's going off there? So, farm structure sizes. Always 4 blocks high for the centerpiece, the actual farm block itself. There are 5 different sizes: 3x3, 3x4, 4x4, 3x5, 5x5. That's this center farm block which does all the work. And your various different sizes are here. I'll pause so you can freeze frame if you like. Basically that gives you the number of farm blocks to make up the centerpiece and the number of blocks you're going to need for the full area. Each farm must contain at least 1 valve, hatch and gearbox. If you don't put one in, the farm will never start. Obviously if you don't put a gearbox in, it'll never start because it won't have any power. So the actual growth level, what I call the growth levels, that's where the produce grows, can be completely under or on any level of the farm structure, but cannot be completely above. And there are several different farm types, from melon, wheat, tree, orchard, cocoa, which is new in 2.0.0.9 I believe, peats, carrots, potatoes, mushrooms, netherwort, cactus, sugarcane, sticky resin, as in a rubber tree farm. Or if you get any tree with that you've crossbred that has fruit, that will work too in an orchard. Okay, so have we got any trees yet? No, we've run out of saplings. I'll just put some more saplings in here. Can mix the saplings up if you want and have several different tree types. That should just finish that off. Right, I'll just pause here while a tree grows. Oh, that didn't take too long actually. I didn't actually pause the video, so there we go. So what will happen now is, same as the old farms, the tree trunk will be hacked out, the humus will be turned into sand. So in our output sections, there's the sand already. And there goes the logs. So there's our 5 birch wood. And then we get what we call windfall. So now the leaves will decay, and if we get any saplings, they shall come in. Now you will notice these saplings plant differently to what the sapling actually looks like, and that's the reason I've chose these. You see, that's the birch sapling, and that's what one looks like after it's come out the forestry farm. And the reason I chose these was to show you that any saplings will automatically come out and get put back into the farm. We don't need to do anything, we don't need to add any pipes or any extra bits. they will automatically populate this area here. Okay, and then that is roughly about it. So we've got our second piece of sand. I'm not 100% sure actually whether any dirt is being. Oh, there it is, just dropped. Just to prove me, just as a point. So it's using the dirt, replanting it, turning it straight to humus. And you can see now our fertilizer's going down. And that's our tree farm working away. Now, while it does that, I'm going to pop back down here and show you how to get your produce out and how to put items back in, and then we'll call it a day for this episode. To get items out, they come out the bottom of this hatch, so you cannot put this hatch to get items out on any of the other levels because you can't get access to the bottom of it. You can't get items out the side, that doesn't work. So let's first of all go with Buildcraft. I think let's just grab a couple of chests. Put one over here, and we'll have one there. So golden transport pipes. We don't need wooden pipes or anything like that to get produce out. Simply attach these to the bottom, and I've missed that completely, of your hatch, and they will come out automatically like so. No need for redstone engines or gates or anything like that. Okay, so we see our bottom inventory here coming out, and I'm going to stop that because I'm going to show you the red power way too. Now, you can't attach red power tubes directly to the bottom of this. They don't work like that, they never have done. Simply grab a relay and some tubes, and for let's see which way around we're going to do this. We'll do it. Let's just bring this up into that chest, and I'll just attach the relay to it. That way on the end of that pipe, and you'll see all the produce come out at once, because that is the power of red power. And there we have it in there. So that's getting out. So far as putting items in, simply you can go into the side of the relay itself, into the side of the hatch itself, with either Buildcraft pipes or with relays, or you can put it in via filters or anything like that. And this farm building itself is quite clever, and it should put items into the correct places. I do admit, or specify they should. What's going to happen with fertilizer when that fills up? It goes into the wrong place. Okay, so maybe it doesn't put them into the right place. It should put dirt into the right one, and you see the rest bounce back. Probably relay's not a good thing, right? You see, brilliant that. So it'll wait there until there is a free slot, and then it will come out and put that into there. Fertilizer didn't go into the fertilizer slot. Now I've managed to get that fertilizer in before now, so maybe it's side dependent, which sometimes red power is. Let me just try putting fertilizer in that side. Right, okay, so there you see the fertilizer topped up. It's coming back out again to fill that extra one, and then go back into the source. So remember that way if you're using red power for these. So fertilizer in well, depends how you put it, really, isn't it? That's the let's have a look. That's the east side, and then put the earth or produce in from the south. So for Buildcraft, as I said before, you can use straight use gold pipes for taking items out. As for putting items back in again, you'll have to use some sort of container. That's the wrong one. And for Buildcraft, you can use a simple Buildcraft pipe. Fixation into the valve using target gates. And a bit of red piping. And then we can set these to should pick up the inventories from the farms. Let's have a look. Yep. So if there is less than 128 soil, we can set a red pipe signal, and if the fertilizer is less than 50%, we can set up a red pipe signal as well. What you're better off doing here is using a diamond pipe and splitting your two resources apart, because as soon as it sends the pipe signal, well, you can stagger your items like that, I guess, but it's not going to use as much fertilizer as it's going to use as much soil. Okay, so I hope that's helped. That's the first episode of Forestry version 2 farms. In episodes 2 onwards, we're going to be looking at the other farms and setting up really what these farms are all about, and that is the multi-farms where you can have like wheat at this side, carrots at this side, potatoes at that side, and you can even have nether wart at this side. Obviously for that we'll use the bigger farms. Okay, so hopefully you've enjoyed this episode. Leave any comments or subscribe below. Thank you.